Now, finding value or an edge in sports betting is not only critical, it's essential. Without that, you just will not succeed, period. And taking the tools that you have from Sharpmoney with the positive EV tool is absolutely a no-brainer. But if you want to scale this and have really a lot higher level of account growth, you're going to be looking at the alpha tier, which includes their Signal program. Signal is a proprietary tool that I'll talk about coming up. Now, as the founder of Sportsbook University, we're always talking about education, information, knowledge, expansion. And really, this type of a tool with Signal is going to help you do that with account health. And we talk a lot about, expanding your accounts and having a lot of different resources and outs to diversify and have many choices. This does it for you. Now, Signal isn't just a public feed. It's a proprietary tech designed from Sharpmoney's Alpha program, their most exclusive and high-value tier. It's built to detect institutional moves and market imbalances before they become common knowledge. And so if you want to see how elite account growth actually happens, pay close attention to this tour. Now, we're going to do a deep dive into the math and the execution today. Watch this video until the very end because I'm going to make it much easier for you to start your journey by giving out a promo code for 2 weeks of my personal undergrad picks and my daily over-the-shoulder market breakdowns for free, just to show you that this life can get a lot easier when you're on the right side of the tape. Now we have Closing Dime from Sharpmoney, one of the co-founders of Sharpmoney. I'm going to go through the video to explain the Signal, all the information you need to understand this product and really dive deep into it. So sit back, relax, take it all in.
Introducing Sharpmoney Signal, a proprietary system you won't find anywhere else. Everything behind it is built entirely in-house with all of the logic baked right in. Every play includes our signal price and a visual strength rating that scales with the upside of the edge. The system has been tested across tens of thousands of bets and produced over a 5% ROI on over 20 plus sportsbooks and prediction markets. It's simple to use and hard to replicate. This is Sharpmoney Signal, exclusively available in the Alpha package. What's up, guys? My name is Robbie. Some of you might know me as Closing Dime. I'm one of the owners of Sharpmoney and kind of leading the project on this Signal tool that was newly introduced to the Alpha package in Sharpmoney. And I'm here to kind of explain what it is, how it works, how to maximize your value and go through, how it's profitable. But with that being said, I pride myself on educating people about the process of sports betting and how to, get closing line value and make some money. But with the Signal bot, it's really a proprietary system that we built, like I said, entirely in-house. And it uses a lot of information. It's not necessarily a top-down tool. It's not a bottom-up tool. It uses a lot of information where you really could never replicate what we have built because there are so many different parameters that it uses. But I can't get into too much detail on how it works because there are other tools and companies out there that would love to replicate exactly what we're doing. So here's the page with all of our results. Now, this has been tracked it's only about a month, and right now it is just NBA player props, but we're confident. We're back testing a lot of NHL props and MLB season starting in the next couple months. We'll be hitting those as well. But I really wanted to just break down this dashboard page, which tracks every single bet that it posts to the Signal tool. So full transparency here. This are the results so far. We have over 20,000 bets placed, 5.4% ROI, and the win-loss statement is up $106,000. So that's on $100 flat bets. If you were betting every play at $100, you'd be up over 1,000 units. But full transparency is this is a bot that's tracking this. You will not come close to this volume. What I can assure you is that your ROI should represent this pretty well. But you're not a bot. You're not able to sit at the computer all day and hit every single bet. A lot of these plays come in and the lines move, within 5-10 seconds. So maybe only a couple members get on these. So this is just showing you every single bet. It's not realistic to expect this type of volume. I think on average, this thing spits out about 500 to 1,000 bets a day. Someone like myself who, spends maybe an hour or two combined time, I'm able to get 20, 30 bets in on a day, no problem. So expect that. If you're sitting at your computer all day, I've seen some members already getting over 300 bets in a day using this. So yes, you can get a lot, but don't get carried away with this chart. Look at the ROI percentage. That's really what you want to base it off of. So in this video, I'm going to show you later me kind of using the tool and live betting it. But right now, I want to show you, kind of some of the information that we have and what we've been tracking. So this is every single bet that's been posted, which is really important. But we can also kind of break it down very deeply, and this is a big part of adjusting our fair value prices and coming up with what plays to post and what plays to lay off of. This is why it will never be replicated, because we have so many different parameters. But we can break it down per market. So if you wanted to see like how the points market is doing, we're running at a 2.8% ROI. If we look at maybe the unders, they're doing 4% ROI. So you could bounce back and forth on all types of different markets and things like that. So you can also break down stuff based on lead time. So if we're betting things 30 minutes before the game starts, we're looking at a 2.5% ROI. The thing here, and we'll get into a little bit more, is being able to beat player props an hour before game time, running at a 4% ROI is very important. The lines are pretty shaped up, and this is where you can actually get real money down. So running at a 4% ROI within 1 hour of game time with over 3,000 tracked bets is really impressive. Now, if we look at plays that are out of the 12-hour range, I mean, we can obviously get some major ROI where we're betting 12 hours out. But then again, how much money are we really going to be able to get down when the sports books aren't going to take too much action 12 hours out? So that's one of the other things that we can break down, which is obviously here as well. So this is our signal strength, our signal strength analysis. So strong, weak, and medium signal strength is shown there. This is our lead time analysis. So like I said, this is 30 minutes to an hour before game time. We're running at a 2.5%. 30 minutes to an hour, we're running at a 6%. 4% when it comes to 1 to 4 hours, and only a 1% ROI 4 to 8 hours, which is kind of strange, weird spot to be like almost break even. But then you go anything over that, we're talking huge ROIs like 12% and 11%. But for me, the sweet spot of betting signal, someone who has very limited accounts, is this 4 hour range before game time, where we're still returning 3 to 5% ROIs. And you're able to get down some actual bet sizes. So another breakdown here kind of shows you the volume of plays. You can see that this is lead time. So like the majority of the plays do kind of fall into this 1 to 4 hour bracket, where you're, almost over 7,000 of these bets fall into that 1 to 4 hour bracket, which makes sense. It's when injuries come out. This is when, news gets released. So it's pretty good time to be betting. Here is our ROI based on our EV percent that we flag. You can see that when we're flagging plays at 1% expected value, 2% expected value, 3% expected value, we're actually returning 4% on those plays. We're returning 6% on these lower EV plays. We're returning 5% on the 1% EV plays. So like I said, the EV, I'll get into this later, but our EV percentage that we flag these plays at is really just like a baseline. There's opportunity for these plays to be much higher, and it's clear indicator that our EV percentages are very conservative. So anything you see on the signal page, you go ahead and bet it, because there's value on that play. We'll talk about it more too, but like it's hard to put a value on something if you're a handicapper, what plays have value, but you can't always pinpoint exactly how much value is there. So our signal fair values are extremely conservative, allowing you to place 1% EV bets up to 10%. So we still see overall that the higher EV percent plays are returning higher ROIs, but don't be afraid to play those low EV plays, is what I'll tell you. And then this chart down here is probably one of the most important ones. This is the breakdown per sportsbook. So a lot of you are probably going to be interested in seeing what FanDuel does. So FanDuel has a 5% ROI, 5.3%, which is exactly what we're running all time for every book, which is cool. Really good volume here. So FanDuel is a great book to beat. Let's see some other ones. Some of you might be big DraftKings guys. They limit pretty quick, but if you have fresh accounts, you can definitely hammer them. I think this is an order of how much volume is down. So when in terms of volume, DraftKings, MGMs, Fanatics, Onyx Odds, ESPN Bet are our top 5, and all those books are returning pretty much 5% ish. Some really good stuff there. Props Builder is another one. If you have limited accounts, this is used on a lot of offshore books. So returning a 4% ROI there. Even Bet 105, it's lower volume, but we're beating Bet 105 at a 7% rate, which is absurd. Probably one of our highest win rates here. Never mind. Bet Rivers and Ballybet, that's kind of obvious. Those books are absolutely terrible, but beating those at 10% rate with over 1,000 bets. So only books that we're down on is Polymarket and Bet Chris, and that we don't even have a sample size of 50 bets here. So really nothing to be worried about. Every other book we're kind of crushing. Kalshi up 17%, but again, very low volume. But a good idea of what you can expect here. So that's kind of all the stats behind it. I'm sure you guys are interested in how it actually works. So let's go do some live betting. So we're going to do a little bit of live betting on Sharpmoney Signal right now. And this is basically see a bet, take the bet. There's no logic here. The EV plays are all very conservative. This isn't a typical top-down strategy. So even the 1% EV plays have been performing pretty well. It's really hard to determine exactly what the fair value should be. So all of our fair values are very conservative. So anything you see with value on this board, go hit it. It's kind of a blend of top down and bottom up. And if you're an originator, you know where value is, but you can't always put an exact number on how much value you have. So these are plays that, I don't think about anything that's on this page. I bet it all, no matter what the fair value is, no matter what our signal strength is. As long as it is equal or under our fair value price, we go and bet it. So let's just try to fire off. What I first do as a very limited bettor is I click through, and I can filter out all the books I don't have easily, but I'm just trying to show you how many bets are on the board. And this is one of my favorite things about the Sharpmoney Signal tool is you can get value across the board. I mean, we got Luka Doncic under 32.5 points. We can go smash this on ESPN, Bet Rivers, Onyx Odds, Props Builder, which is available on tons of offshore books, FanDuel, Caesar. So you can smash this line on so many books. So I'm just going to go into FanDuel real quick, hit this Luka Doncic under 32.5 points, minus 125. So it moved off our minus one. No, that's what we did have it at. So our signal price is minus 128. So we're good to bet it here. And we'll go, let's see if we can get 250 in. We can, which is nice. So there's your FanDuel limits. I mean, I have a 10% account. We're betting a big name. So that's probably one of the reasons it lets us get down so much there. But if that wasn't enough money, I can go click ESPN bet. I can sign in here. I can get more money down now. Luka Doncic under 32.5 minus 120. So I could log in, hit this for, most of the time. I'm only hitting some of these softer books. It's a $10 max bet. Maybe on this bigger name and a points market, I could get more. So let's just see what it lets me place. $18. So you can just sit here and pick away at these books all day long because there's so much value on all of them. So you can hide the bet once you bet it. So Luka Doncic gone. A lot of hard rock bets I don't have. Luka again under points and assists. So Michael Porter under 25.5 points. Signal price is minus 129. That's good. So I can hit that here, $18.75. Place that bet. And you can just really crank volume doing this. You can see more plays coming in quickly here. So you're pretty much what you want to do is just keep an eye on this page. And, I typically bounce back and forth between the plus EV tool and the signal tool. And, I'll filter out all the books I don't use. So I don't want to see hard rock or the ones that you just have severe limits on, you don't want to see. So let me get rid of all those books. And then now I know if there's any plays on here that they're going to be really good and something that I want to bet. So that makes it a little bit cleaner. And then once you bet something, you can just hit hide. Like I already hit the Luka under points. So I probably want to hide the points and assists as well. And then I'm just going to be bouncing back and forth between this page and the EV page and placing bets as many as I can get down. But the signal tool has produced some serious value. If you're interested in getting the alpha package, which includes Sharpmoney Signal along with our other plus EV tools and EV page, then you can check out our website. I'll leave that in the description down below. You can go and kind of look at all the features that our products have, and then you can go and pay for it. Now, our app runs exclusively through WAP. So you'll have to go to WAP, pay for it there, and then you'll get access inside of WAP to access our app. Now, you also get access to handicapped plays by some of our cappers, along with some plus EV bots inside of Discord. So make sure you link your Discord after buying it as well.
There you go. There's the Sharpmoney Signal tool. It's elite for many, many reasons. Now, for those of you ready to stop donating that $3,200 a year to the books and start growing your bankroll, here's your path. Go to the link in the description, sign up for the undergrad program, and use promo code SBU Sharp. This is going to give you 2 weeks of my personal plays and a daily seat at my desk while I break down the markets. The Alpha program is where you finish, but undergrad is where you start. So use the code, take the SBU entrance exam, and let's get to work.